Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Building in Ghana project. Thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I know it's been a very, very long time since I brought about a video. I remember the last video I uploaded was sometime last year after the exterior plastering, and I said I was going to take a break to recharge my batteries. Thankfully, I didn't have to recharge my batteries for too long, and I have been doing some work since the start of this year, thankfully. So, I have done a good few works actually, but it's just that I haven't had enough time to upload the videos. So, for this episode, I decided to bring about the installation of my windows. We did the windows back in March and April of this year. That's what this episode is basically about. Before I dive into it, I would just like to give a very big shout out to Kojo Black. So it's on Kojo Black channel that I came across my window fabricator, and that is John Jehovah Jireh Fabrications. So I found him on Kojo Black's channel. So shout out to him and thank you for introducing him. So John, yeah, I decided to work with John basically because he's very transparent with his pricing, okay, and he's very patient, okay. So when I first approached John, I had no ideas about windows. I didn't know anything about the different type of windows. Like I was really a novice when it comes to windows, but John was really patient with me to basically school me about all the various type of windows. And one remarkable thing about John is that when it comes to me, actually, I'm very indecisive to decide on something. I will have to like go through a lot of processes, like ask a loads of questions before I'll be able to make up my mind on what to settle for. So I remember I had to go back to John several times to ask for different kind of codes for the various type of window profiles available. So before I even settled on the profiles I went for, I remember John had given me about 6 to 7 different codes. Okay, I know at some point I was actually very worried going back to him because I wasn't sure how he was going to react, because at some point I actually did realize that I was asking too much of him. But he didn't show me any sign that he was bothered. He was actually very much happy to give me the codes each time I ask of them, and that was something that really stood out to me, and I decided to really work with him because before I approached on, I had actually approached other window fabricators as well that I found on YouTube, and most of them, when they give you one or two quotes, they become very reluctant to give you subsequent quotes. But I didn't experience any of that with John, so I would say in that regards, he's very good. And aside that, his pricing, like when he gives the estimate, he's very transparent, because other quotes that I got from other artisans, they would just state the sizes of the window, and then they will tell you how much the cost will be for each window. So they'll tell you, oh, window one is the size and it's gonna cost you that, and then at the end they'll sum up the total and then give you add the labor fees and then give you the total estimate. But with John, he he gave me a comprehensive quote, so that's just a detailed overview of all the materials that he's gonna need, okay, that he's gonna use, and the unit prices of all these materials. So for me, in my head, I was thinking it's an estimate of all the materials that he's gonna need, and probably when they go make the purchase, it might differ, okay. But to my utmost surprise, okay, when my supervisor went with John to the to source the materials, the final price that I we got from the shop was almost very similar to the estimates that John gave me. So that is to say how honest and transparent he is when it comes to his estimates. And one thing I also loved about him is the fact that he was willing to fabricate the windows on site. Okay, for me, any artisans that like to do stuff on my site so I can see a detailed view of everything that he's doing. Trust me, you're going to be in my good books, because I love those kind of artisans, because I'm no longer compromising when it comes to control and quality. Okay, so I really want to see everything in details, everything dito. I want to see everything really in details. And John was very much happy to do everything on site. So for me, that was one of the plus points. Yeah, and what else? So yeah, so John came on site with his crew. They stayed there for a good few days. Actually, this work, the window, we did that in stages. We first did the profiles, so they came and they fabricated all the profiles and did the installation. And if I'm not mistaken, that took about a week and a half to 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I don't remember, because this is somewhere in March. Okay, but yeah, they were on site to do all of that. And then when the installation of the profiles was done, we took like a few weeks of break. And then I had my money ready to purchase the glass, and they had to come back again. So when it comes to the glass, okay, I wanted the dark kind of glass, okay, but I didn't want it too dark. I didn't want it too black, but I wanted it dark as well, because I was very conscious of the fact that I didn't want the burglar proof to show outside the window. So when you're outside, I didn't want the burglar proof to show, because I realized it wasn't too pretty when the burglar proof is showing. So I was very much conscious of that. So I discussed this with John, and he advised that in that case, since I don't want the burglar proof to show, and I also do not want the glass to be very dark, what he will use is he's going to use one dark tinted glass, and he will use one transparent glass. So if I didn't mention this before, I did a double glazing. Okay, so he used one glass of the transparent, the clear one, and then one glass of the dark one. And this two was then glued together. Aside the double glazing, I also did the design. So that's the lines you see in the glass. So that's the design. I did that as well. And the profiles that I bought, I went with the trialco, okay, trialco profiles. That's what I went with. So yeah, I believe I've already shared the pricing at the start of this video. So you can pause that and see the pricing in regards to the triacle profiles. I'm sure when it comes to the windows, there are a lot of videos about KS50 and Italian, but I haven't seen anything with triacle. So anyone considering the triacle profiles, I'm sure this might help you. This can give you a guide about the price. So, what else? Yeah, so as I'm saying, John is very good. He takes his work very seriously. He's really talented when it comes to fabricating these windows. For me, he did an excellent job. So, I'm happy with what he did. But with that being said, I have to be 100% honest. It's not like everything went 100% smooth, okay? It's not. And one thing is, when these artisans come to work for me, I do not expect that the work is going to be 100%, because as you all know how the Ghanaian artisans are, when it comes to the finishing and the detailing, they do have a bit of problem, and you really have to prompt them on it and tell them exactly what you want, so they will do it. The windows are all being installed now. They are all have been installed, okay. But the little issues that we got along the way is leakages when it come to rain, okay. I did experience a few windows leaking, so I prompted John on it, and he said the work is not 100% done, it's not finished. But that's true though, because I still owe him a balance. I haven't done the net just yet, so that needs to be done as well. And we have to still do the what's it called? We have to apply the expandable foam around all the edges of the window from the inside, and that hasn't been done. Well, some has been done, but not all of them. So the areas that hasn't been done is what is leaking when it rains. But those parts that we've applied the expandable foam on, that doesn't leak when it rains. So I do believe him when he says the work is not 100% complete, and we still have to do that. But I'm also being told that if I do a window design, the window design is also going to help with the leakages. So that's something I'm looking into doing. So I might consider doing the window design outside as well. And the reason why I want to do a window design, it's not per se also for the leakages, but also to add a bit of shape to the windows, because as you may have noticed, my windows are a bit smaller than the usual window size, and that's something I actually really regret. At the early stages when I was building, my previous contractor, or my builder that I have sacked, thankfully, um, he advised me to do smaller windows, because he said big windows do eat into your pockets when it comes to getting the windows done. And to be honest, in that regards, he is somehow right, but I think I still would have preferred bigger windows. If I got another chance to do things all over again, I would have gone for bigger windows, because I think number one, it's more aesthetically pleasing from the outside, and aside that, it's also good for the ventilation, and also for the natural daylight into the house. So, but all in all, I think it's a win-win situation for me, because I have smaller windows, I was able to afford a more quality window profiles. That's the triaco, because I think that's the best in the Ghanaian market when it comes to the window profiles. I was able to afford that, because I think if my windows were bigger, the triaco would have probably been very heavy on my pocket, and I would have probably settled with the KS50 or the Italian, who knows. But I probably wouldn't have done the triangle anyway, because even this with my smaller windows, they did cost me quite a lot. So imagine if my windows were bigger. So on in all, yeah. So as I said, I'm happy. John and his team has done a fantastic job. And the very thing I like about him is also for the fact that when I call John to discuss any issues that we are experiencing, he doesn't run away from the problems, he doesn't run away from the issues. He comes back to the site to resolve the problem. And for me, that's what I look at: the person's attitude towards work and the ability to solve problems. It's more important to me than the problems itself. And one thing I have realized is that when you are building in Ghana, especially if you don't live in Ghana, you need to develop a certain kind of mindset. You need to realize that building in Ghana is not a perfect journey. Okay, you can't come build in Ghana with the same expectation as you would have in the Western world. Things are done differently in Ghana. Ghana does have a lot of skilled artisan, a lot of skilled laborers, but their way of doing things is really different from the way things are done in the Western world. And you need to really prepare your mind for this. If you develop this mindset to know that building in Ghana is not going to be problem free, that will really help you to curb a lot of disappointments, to curb a lot of frustrations, really. So for me, ever since I realized this, when someone is working for me, I already prepare my mind that there's going to be a problem, okay? And we will need to resolve it. So what I'm looking out for, it's someone I can relate with, someone I can work with, and someone I think will be able to resolve the problems when the problems come. That's for me the most important factors I consider, and I have seen these qualities in John. So yeah, he's really good in that regards. Okay, so yeah, I'm not trying to do any sales pitch for John, okay, but I'm just telling you my observations and what I've seen, and this is it. I'm just telling you just as it is, and this is what I have experienced when it comes to him. Yeah, so my video is it's quite a lengthy one. So if you like a long video, then please do enjoy. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section and I will come back to you. I'm not gonna be talking throughout the video, so I have said all that they need to be said. But if you need any further clarification, please pop me a message and I'll get back to you. Enjoy, and hopefully I see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Eba yin fi o. Yeah, eh. Aha. Like eh. Wow, you won't call it. Boko. Boko. Ambekere. we for we no mo di be share no mo we no mo ye mo adwuma because of esusu no ntino oyi ni nyina no twetwa so interfere no be set na awo ansa mo de ahye nti no be ye ochina ankopon ya doma na anyway and so the rubber ni sha no mo di abehye na fe de projected ones no ni nyina no ni handle ni nyina embai nti enu so mo so ochina ana so obekwa akoto aba any rubbers na mo di hye chen no ni nyina no mo si ochina obekwa akoto aba ansa mo aye ti de akoso no embra ni se kakra koyo kaje kwano ensu no oya na ensu yo kasa bidin Madam Bacha, good morning. I'm starting every we know one. Yeah. I'm starting here. Bakuko, yes, so koto bibi, yes, is a clean house. Then no mudi go glass no more. A be brighten. Into no koto aba. Into one can so. Chuchu any answer or no aba. so far in the actually the one in Aka aha econo e di coin ni no se se na aka ti omo go so ye adwuma no